Hello. I am Emily Haynes from This Yogi Dances. Welcome. Let me know how you're feeling today in the chat. Check in with me. And in lieu of any donation or payment to me, if you are donating, or please do donate to an organization. And if you are, in lieu of any pay what you can action today, let me know in the chat who you are donating to, because maybe it's an organization that I don't know about, or that someone else who is watching and taking might get informed about. So hopefully everyone wins in that way. Today, we're going to take a pretty supported practice. So if you want to add vinyasas and make it a little bit more fiery in a different way, you can. But I'm going to give pretty supported options today for physical and emotional and energetic support. Okay, so I have two little pillows. Use these two little pillows. I have two blocks over here that we'll use. And then if possible, so back here, I just happen to like these folding chairs because they work for my short legs and my height. But any chair that you have will work. And if you have two similar chairs, two of the same size, that would be great for later in class. As we take some standing poses, if you need to put height and pillow underneath the thigh or the butt to make it to the right height for your shin, that is one of the reasons to have these handy. Maybe have some blankets and stuff too, especially if you have long legs. Let's bring ourselves to our mat today in a comfortable seat. If you want to be on the shins, we can be on the shins today. And start to take a long, lengthened, deep breath. Finding that Ujjayi Pranayama, taking the gaze downward. So one of the 8 limbs of this practice is referred to as the 8-limbed practice, and you can visualize that as a circle, like yoga, your union in the middle. Pranayama is one, asana, so your breath, the poses. Self-study, svadhyaya, is one of those limbs. We are being asked, very much so, to study ourselves right now. And not just our breath in the present moment, just connecting in with our feelings and emotions right now. But studying the depths and our core beliefs, our perception, how we walk in the world, how that affects others or not. If you need a little extra grounding right now, take Visamavriti breath, unequal length breath. So 4 counts in, 6 counts out. Big inhale. Slow exhale. Easy jaw, easy eyes. Steady the eyes on one spot that's downward, whether the eyes are open or closed. And continue that long, lengthened breath. Bring the hands together at the heart. Another big part of this practice, and really a part of being human, is acknowledging what you need, present moment. You need to connect in with yourself and conserve energy. That might look like not taking every vinyasa or modifying. That might feel like taking a longer breath. So you might take a slower vinyasa, a slower stone salute. As you start to set your intention, setting your intention based on what you feel now, what you need today. If you have an abundance, an overflow of energy, whatever it is to give, you set your intention for off the mat, for someone, someplace, something. Make sure it's in the present tense. Long inhalations, long exhalations. And let your intention, your sankalpa, your breath, your pranayama be the most important parts of your practice for now. Allowing you to tap into how things feel and what you need in each present moment, in each changing moment. Let's chant the sound of Om one time. Exhale everything out. Take a long, wide inhale. Bow your head to your heart. Let your fingertips be the first thing you see as you open your eyes. If you've been on the shins and you need to extend out the legs, come forward to a tabletop. Extend the legs back up behind, maybe flexing the toes, reaching the heel back. Doing one side, the other side. And then say left leg back here. Press the toes down, push the hands down, hollow out the belly without rounding the upper back. Keeping the toes pressed down, lean your head, your shoulders to the right. But keep back bend, keep upper back curve out of the spine. Try to make it as neutral as possible and find a side bend. Bring it back to neutral, put the knee down, find your other side. Hollow the belly away from the floor without rounding the upper back. Push the hands down, the back foot down. If you have the right leg back, leaning the head and the shoulders to the left. Take a big inhale here. Take a big exhale. Good. Bringing it down and to one side. Setting your seat, your shoulders, and your feet probably in line with that back edge of your mat. You can use your hand underneath you. So I'm laying to my right side. You can use your hand underneath the head, or I'm using a block today. My neck is a lot happier about that. I can bend this top elbow or keep it straight. Again, you could use your fist or your forearm underneath the head as well. Keeping the shoulders and the seat one on top of the other. Hand down in front of you for now. Toes together, squeeze the knee wide. And then exhale, bring it back. Squeeze the knee wide, a little clamshell. And then bring it back close, squeeze the knee wide. So without shifting the hips, feeling your seat activate here, do one more. And then we're gonna make it fun and interesting. The knees don't have to stay close, but can you separate the heels away from one another? So if you need the knees to be separate and then you can lift the heel high, this is great. Do something that feels good. Now you feel it's almost TFL activating here. Knees close, heel apart. Do like one more. And then come back to the center. Did you feel your waist dripping down towards the floor? So that meant, see, my hips are shifting. Hip on top of hip the entire time. Reach the other arm straight up. Let's try again. Keep hip on top of hip. So you might feel a little space between, if you're on your right side, your right waist and the floor. You could spread the fingertips wide. You could keep 4 fingers together. What feels good? Your jaw and neck soft here. Can you exhale, pull the navel in? And then go knees close, heels apart. Ooh. Don't shift your hips. Keep them even. 3, 2, 1. Right, take the knee wide, hip on top of hip. Squeeze the legs straight any amount. Don't shift the hips. Exhale, pull the heel into the seat. Now feel your hamstring work. Inhale, squeeze the leg any amount towards straight. It can be lower if you need it to. Exhale, squeeze the heel into the butt. Don't shift the knee. 3. Squeeze hamstring. Belly in. 2. Keep reaching fingers up. 1. Hang out here. 3. Flex. Point the toe. Point the toe. 2. 1. Bring it back down and in. I was reminded of the sponge shoulder strengthener that I forgot about the other day. Hands right in front of the chest. You're going to try and keep the hand next to the head here. And I push. Maybe I need to take my feet away from the seat. Clearly, I haven't been doing this one. Bring it back down. You need the hand a little bit lower. I can use this arm on the floor to help. The closer the feet are into the butt. Try not to thump down. Try to use your arm strength more than anything. Woo. Only have lost a bit of mine over this fun time we've been having of quarantine. Press yourself all the way up. Hands down to sides. Swing the legs out in front. Flex the feet really hard. Feet hip width distance. You can take them a little wider if you need to. Inhale with the arms up. Exhale, pull the elbows into your ribs and take the thumbs back. Can you do that without back bending the low back? Inhale, bring the arms up. Exhale, flex the toes, pull the belly in, widen the chest, the shoulders. Inhale, lift up, palms face one another. Maybe you want to take the thumbs inside 4 fingers. Take the knuckles back, the elbows forward, but try to squeeze into your ribs. Keep pulling the belly in. 2, 1. This time, keep squeezing elbows in. Keep flexing the flaring toes. Keep squeezing the quads. Keep taking the knuckles back. Maybe drop an ear to a shoulder. Whew. Maybe chin into chest and come back up. Knuckles back, elbows forward and in. Maybe the other ear down. Chin to chest. Bring it back to the center. Take one more breath. Inhale, lift up super tall. Pull the belly in, but take the sacral plate forward. Exhale, hands down by your side. If you're using a block to support for the head, take it to the other side. Again, feet, seat, shoulders, head, in line with that back edge of your mat. Keeping the body all in one line. Support for the head, how you need. Shoulder on top of shoulder, hip on top of hip. Again, not letting the bottom hip dip away from the face and the top hip dip toward. Okay, both sideways, super long. And then keeping the toes together, squeezing the seat without letting this top hip dip back. Hand out in front of you for support. Knees separate. Three. Breathe. Two. Hollow the belly in. One. Do the opposite without shifting the hips toward the face at all, keeping them neutral, one on top of the other, one in front of the other, heels separate and come back down. Three. Two. One. Try again, arms straight up. 5. 4. 3. 2. 1. Jaws easy, other way. Knees close, they don't have to touch, they can be separated. 2. 1. Take the knee up, extend the leg any amount of straight, keeping the waist even to the floor. I can see my hip drop back. Exhale, squeeze the heel into the seat, squeeze hamstring. Squeeze it straight, reach up. Maybe take 4 fingers together, 5 fingers apart. Squeeze the leg towards straight. Exhale, heel into seat. Knee stays wide. Hip on top of hip. 2. 1. Flex or point the toe. Hang out with the leg lengthened. 3. 2. Belly in. 1. Okay. Super happy fun time. Get your block out of the way. Hold the hand to the head. Press down. Lift up. This side's a little harder. The closer the feet are to the seat, a little more challenging it will be. The farther the feet are away from the seat. Try not to use that bottom arm to help you up. Try not to thump down. Oh. Try not to let it be clunky, but if it is, it is. Okay, last one. And then swing the legs out in front. Flex or point the toes, maybe get the flesh of the seat out of the way. Tilting the seat forward. Maybe here's where you want your strap. You want to hold on to the shins. Find a forward fold, but not your deepest forward fold. Breathe here. Keep pulling the belly away from the thighs. Keep tilting the seat out, extending the top of the head long, but pulling the shoulder blades down the back. One more big inhale here. One more big exhale. Inhale, lift yourself up. If you need height, take yourself on height. Put one leg on top of the other and hooking the heel on the ball mound of the foot. You can even take the Achilles in between the first and second toes, or the second and third. Push down a little bit, pull back, flex both feet. I'm trying to take the sacral plate forward, but the belly up and in. If this is challenging, put something underneath the butt, a pillow, whatever you have. Pull back, reach up. Exhale, hinge forward without rounding the low back. Inhale, bring it back up. 4 more. Maybe you exhale on the way forward. That might feel better. Shoulders away from the face. Wrap the pointy part of the elbow forward. 3. 2. Go long and forward and over. 1. Hang out in any kind of hinge. Take one more breath where you are. Inhale, lift yourself up. Put that foot down. Do the other side. Hook the heel, long out of the foot. Flex all toes. See how it feels on this side. Get super tall. Exhale, lean forward. Inhale, lift up. If you feel this in the back of the knee, put height underneath the butt. Maybe even bend the knees. 3 more. 3. Wrap the arms. 2. Last one, hang out a little bit. Keep trying to lift up and go over. 3. 2. 1. Inhale, lift up. Put the hands down back behind you. Swing the legs back behind. Probable down dog. Child's pose if you need it. Take a back bend like action of the spine. Keep that back bend like action. Send the seat up and back. Breathe it out here. Feet don't have to be close. It can be a really long down dog, but continue to push the hands forward and down to send the seat up and back. Breathe here. Big inhale. Big exhale. And tippy toeing the feet forward, stepping, jumping. Come to the top of the mat. On an inhale, come halfway up, hands to shins, fingertips in line with toes. You can also put hands on blocks. Exhale, fold. Fingertips, palm to the floor or to blocks. Low back is lengthened. Inhale, come halfway up. Should always bend the knees. Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold Uttanasana. 2 more. Inhale, come halfway up. Hang out here. Weight forward into the toes. Press the heels down and wide. Push the hands into the shins into the hands. Send the collarbones wide, back to the neck long. Take 1 more breath here. And then reach long over the thighs and fold. Look in between the legs. Keep the weight forward in the toes. Push the hands down and forward towards the front edge of your mat. Big inhale here. Big exhale. On inhale, come all the way up. And exhale, hands down by your side. Samasthiti. Inhale, lift the arms up, maybe even seat up. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Surya Namaskar A here. Inhale, come halfway up, Ardha Uttanasana. Plant the hands, step or float back, hang out in your plank pose. Feel free to put the knees down. Armpits are behind the ribs. Fingertips are parallel, first fingers parallel to one another. And take 1 more breath here. Hollow the belly up and away from the floor. You can rock forward and come all the way to the floor. You can bend the knees, squeeze elbows in, reach chest forward, keep pulling belly in. Hang out here, roll the shoulders up, back, and down, lift the chest. Slide the forearms forward, come to Sphinx pose. Press the tops of the feet down, lift the kneecaps up, hollow out the low belly, pull the elbows back, reach the chest forward. Exhale, chin into chest. Maybe that's enough. Inhale, come back to neutral. Exhale, chin into the chest. Maybe push the elbows into the floor. Maybe start to see your navel. The ribs come away from the floor. Inhale, come back to neutral, but keep the navel in. Exhale, chin into chest, maybe ribs in. Maybe ribs in so much that starts to make pelvis come off the floor. Do something 3 more times. Two. Last one, hold it. 5, 4, belly up, 2, not butt. 1, lower the seat down, lift the chest forward and up, squeeze the glutes a little bit, slide the hands back. Inhale, low cobra, high cobra. If you take up dog, thighs off the floor, elbows back, chest forward. Straight legs, bent knees, make your way back to down dog. Flip the toes when you get there, hang up. 3, 2, 1. Step or jump the feet forward to the front of the mat. Inhale, come halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come all the way up to standing. Exhale, hands down by your side. Round 2, straight Namaskar. Inhale with the arms up. Exhale, forward fold, weight in the toes. Inhale, come halfway. Plant the hands, step or float back. Hang out on plank pose, 1 breath. Lower down, straight legs, bent knees, do something. Inhale, pull the heart forward. Take your back bend, exhale back, down dog. Take 1 more breath here. Lift the right leg up. Watch the right pinky toes point down. Then on your next inhale, stack the right hip on top of the left. But imagine someone pulling your left hip away from the face and the armpit. Lift the heel high. Breathe here. Inhale. Exhale, put it down. Do the other side. Notice the difference between sides before you switch. Stack the left hip on top of the right. Keep pulling the right hip away from the face. Keep squaring the shoulders to the front of your mat. Take 1 more breath here. Exhale, put it down. Take a full round of breath in your down dog. Exhale, step or jump forward. Inhale, come halfway up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come all the way up to standing. Exhale, hands down by your side. Round 3, inhale with the arms up. Exhale, Uttanasana, weight in the toes. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Step or float back. Inhale, pull the chest forward. Hang out here. Keep the pelvis down for now. Shoulders up, back, and down. Pull the chest forward. Breathe. Inhale. Big exhale. Take a break. Make a pillow for the forehead with the hands, one on top of the other. Wiggle the big toes together. Internally rotate the thighs. Put the head down. Okay. Take a break anytime that you need to, but with the head down, lift the kneecaps up as you press the tops of the feet into the floor, and then see about pressing the pelvis into the floor, but lifting the belly up. So the low belly is lifting, the pelvis is pressing, the knees are lifting, the feet are pressing down. Hang out here. Keep this action of the navel. Bring your hands out to the side in that goalpost action. Keep the head a little bit lifted off the floor. Can you lift the arms to meet the face? Big inhale here. Big exhale. Squeeze navel up. Lift knees up. Press pelvis down. Lengthen the low back. Float the arms in line with the head. Maybe lift the head a little bit higher. 3, 2, 1, bring the hands back in front of you. Make a pillow for the head. Soften the knees. Hang out here. Okay, scooting back so you can see. Bringing the hands out in front of you. Palm or fingertips to the floor. Pulling the shoulders up, back, and down. Hang out here. Continue to pull the chest forward and lift the navel up and in. Squeezing the big toes close. Maybe bend the knees. Pull the heart forward. Lengthen the legs out. In and out. And squeeze and lengthen. We hold a hand to the floor. Pull the heart forward. Exhale, bend and squeeze. Inhale, lengthen. 3, 2, 1. Last one. Hold. Keep lifting the heart forward, squeezing the toes in. Navel up. 5, 4, 3, 2. Unwind the legs. Keep the chest up. Low cobra, high cobra, or up dog. Exhale back, down dog. Breathe here. 3, 2, 1. Wiggle the toes together and shorten your stance a little bit. So big toes are touching. Lift the heels super high, bend the knees as you need to. And then pressing the ball mounds of the foot back, bending the knees to the floor. Come down to this modified hands on the floor, broken toe pose. Hang out here. Maybe swing the seat gently from side to side, feeling how that rotates the stretch across big toes, pinky toes, across the ball mound of the foot. And then press down, float the knees up, and then press the heels as quick as you can to the floor. Maybe that means the knees stay bent, feeling a stretch along the back of the lower leg, probably more than anything else. Lift the heels up, exhale, slowly lower down. Heel of the foot over the ball mound of the foot. Can you push the hands forward and down? Send the butt closer to the seat. Breathe here, big inhale. Big exhale. Press the hands forward, float the knees up. Try to keep the butt as close to the heels for as long as possible, and then drive the heels down to straighten the legs. Doing that one more time. Exhale. Heel is super high. Lowering the knee to the floor, almost like you could touch your toes to your knees to your toes. Impossible, but how does that open the back of the foot and the Achilles? Hang out here. This time, take a little back bend, pulling the hands back, belly in, chest forward without back bending in the low back. Navel stays in. Press down and forward. Straighten the legs by driving the heels down. Separate the feet. Lengthen your stance. Hands move a little bit forward. Breathe here. Big inhale. Big exhale. And step or jump the feet forward. Bring it to the top of the mat. Inhale, come halfway up. Exhale, fold. Press the feet down, roll the arms up, seat up. Exhale, hands down by your sides, thumbs feet to keep. Maybe you want the wall or your chair coming to a tree pose action, but starting foot to calf. Push the foot and calf together if you need it. Tap the toes to the floor next to the ankle. Hang out here like we did on the floor, keeping the pelvis square, squeezing the knee right out to the side. Dropping the tailbone down long and lifting the belly up and in. Take the hands maybe up, maybe the hands together at the heart. Do something and breathe here. Inhale. Steady your gaze at one spot and find your balance. Big exhale, hollow belly in. Lift the knee up. Squeeze the heel in. Turn on the hamstring and see if you can set the foot higher than the knee joint itself. If that's not happening, set the foot back to the calf, out using the hands. Breathe it out here. Continue to push the foot and the leg together. Send the knee wide out to the side. Knee away from opposite hip. Maybe even inner belly away from same inner thigh. Make wide here. Breathe. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Reach down, see if you can find the knee. Pull it in towards the armpit. Take it in towards the chest, straight standing leg, and then lower that foot to the floor. Pause here. Big inhale. Hands down by your sides. Tadasana, exhale. Take the left knee out to the side, foot to calf, maybe lower if you need it. Send opposite hip away from opposite knee. Exhale, hollow out the belly, drop the tailbone down. Take the arms in a way that feels comfortable. 5, 4, 3. Can you reach out the fingertips, but drop the shoulders down? 2, 1, lift the knee up, use the standing glute, squeeze the heel into the hamstring, see if you can set the foot higher than the knee joint. Hang out where you can, anywhere but the knee joint, pushing the foot and the leg together. Send knee from opposite hip, maybe opposite, or excuse me, same inner belly from same inner thigh, getting wide. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Take the hands down, take the foot down. Ooh, excuse me. Hold the knee into the armpit, squeeze the knee into the chest. Exhale, lower down, pause with both feet on the floor. Take a round of breath here. Inhale. Exhale. Step forward, top of mat. Inhale, lift arms up, seat up. Exhale, forward fold, bend the knees as you need to. Inhale, come halfway. Plant the hands, step or float back. Lower down, inhale, heart forward. Exhale, back. Down, back. Breathe, up. 4, 3, 2, 1. Rock it back forward to your plank pose. Hang out here, hollow the belly up, lower the knees down if you need to. Exhale, lower down as slow as possible. Once you get to the floor, take your tuck of the right foot and maybe a little bit of a swing of the right foot to the right side. So this is just going to depend on how the back of the pelvis feels here. I see myself out of frame. So tug of the right foot, lift of the knee, maybe a little swing of the right foot out to the right side. You can come to your elbows here and take like a Sphinx pose. You can bring the palms together and then squeeze the left foot in towards the seat and then see about dropping it down towards the right and then bringing it back up and maybe even swinging it a little bit wide. Exhale, drop it down. Do your hips shift here a lot? Bring it back neutral or a little bit wide. Just notice how this makes the back of the pelvis feel. And then maybe you need your right foot a little bit wider, or excuse me, a little bit more narrow. If things are going really well and it feels like a thing, I could reach back and hold onto my left foot with my right hand. And I can squeeze the heel in towards the butt, foot in towards the right butt. And take that external rotation with the head up or the head down. This is an optional action. Be getting a little space at the front of the left inner hip. Breathe. 3. It's almost like Ardha Padmasana with the foot behind the thigh instead of in front. 2. It is really, actually. 1, unwind if you have the bind. Walk the feet a little bit closer, internally rotate the thighs, big toes a little bit close, heels apart, on the elbows or flat to the floor. Tuck your left toes, lift the left knee up. This left leg stays super active the entire time. Maybe I scoot it a little bit wide. Squeeze the right heel into the seat and maybe dip it towards the left and back towards the center. Maybe a little bit wide of your right. If you can keep the pelvis square, so maybe you just move just like this much, and this is it. Keeping that left leg stable, keeping the belly lifting in. You can take a wider range of motion. That's not a thing you have to do. So this is where you're listening into your body and what your body needs right now, not making it do a thing. And especially listening into how your body feels after practice. If you took the bind behind the back, reach left hand for right foot, pull the right foot into the seat. Breathe here. So if your body feels especially sore after class, like not in a just a I worked it kind of way, but in a maybe I did something not quite so right kind of way, really check in with the how and the why of what you're doing in your practice. Take one more breath wherever you are, whatever your option is. And then slowly unwind, wiggle the legs back to center. And then maybe pause, make a pillow for the forehead. Big toes together, heels apart. You can wiggle the seat side to side. If you want to take a full vinyasa here, you can press yourself up. You can even press up through plank pose. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, back, down dog. Breathe. Next moment, you will take the hands behind the shoulders and press yourself back towards a child's pose-like position. Hang out here or hang out in your down dog. Inhale. Exhale. One more. All right. So this is part of the super supported part of practice today. We're going to move to a wall. You're going to find a chair. Your legs are a bit longer, right? You're getting your seat in line with your knee. Maybe you need some pillows. As we come in over here underneath the butt. Great. But if you have a block, maybe bring that with you. Might be useful. Making our way through some poses here. I can always adjust how I am at the wall here. But pillows maybe go to the seat of the chair. If you have super long legs, block is just there and close. Probably about leg length away from the wall-ish. And I'm using my right leg to the seat and my left leg long. Right leg to my seat and left leg long. So essentially coming into a warrior two here. Coming into a warrior two. All right. So as I come into this warrior two, I'm finding my right thigh. So if I have my mat out here beside me, my right thigh parallel with that outer edge of my mat. I'm being really honest about this today, so my left hip is coming quite a bit forward. My thigh is really internally rotating. This leg is super important here. If I look down, my feet are rather wide of one another, like train track legs, train track feet here, instead of front heel to back arch alignment. I have my outer left foot pressing down into the floor. And as I'm here, I'll hollow out the belly and slowly, like we were doing in Vikrasana, tree pose, I'm taking my front knee away from opposite hip. But just a little bit. I'm setting my shoulders in line with wherever my hips are pointing today. I press my feet down and squeeze them together. Utilize the chair as more support here, or I can press my feet together and down so much I start to float the butt off the chair. So options. Do you want to be more supported here? Do you want to work towards that strength, or somewhere in between? Press the feet down, squeeze the legs together, take the arms out to the side, set the shoulders in the same direction as the pelvis. And we turn our palms to face up. Breathe. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'll place my hands down to the chair. I lift the butt up and scoop the back leg in. Heel toe, heel toe, heel toe. Maybe I scoop the chair a little bit farther back. You can already tell I'm a little too close to the wall. My thighs are essentially squeezing the chair here. Essentially squeezing the chair. And then I will do the hip tilt that we were trying not to do beginning of class. I still have right leg externally rotated. My right hip dips down and my left hip dips up. Maybe here's where I need my block. I can use it here. Forearm to block on the thigh. Get both sideways long and push away from the thigh into the block. Maybe the other arm comes straight up. You can keep that hinge at the hip, keep the waist long. Maybe I take my block down to the shin and I press into the shin, into the block. Other arm comes up. Squeeze the legs towards one another. Rotate the left side body open. Breathe here. Trikonasana. 3, 2, 1. I'm going to slide forward to my wall. I'm actually going to use my forearm, maybe on the lower block height, the smallest block width, forearm to thigh, palm facing my face. I reach forward, getting the chair a little bit out of the way. I reach forward, I find the wall, still a little bit too close. I'm going to see about getting this top arm straight. I'm still a little too close to the wall. Top arm could be a little bit bent. I'm pushing into this bottom thigh. I'm rotating left hip away from the right. I'm pushing into the top arm, low balance, and then pushing my foot way to the opposite wall. It should make me feel super long and super supported here, but I'm still strength building. I'm leaning towards the chair back behind. Breathe. 5. My hand doesn't have to be so parallel. My arm doesn't have to be so parallel to the floor. I could also hold on to the chair for a little bit more support. This bottom arm, get it a little bit closer. 2, flex that floating foot harder. Reach it toward the wall behind you. Push into the wall with the top arm. 1, exhale, bring it back down. Maybe have a seat. Turn your chair around, get to the other side. Get your block close. So wherever your chair is probably the right height you needed to be away from the wall. I take my left thigh to the chair. I can also do none of this on the chair too. It's going to be a longer hold, a little less supported. We'll put that in air quotes. Maybe I take my feet a little bit wide, or train track like. Pelvis can be here on the diagonal, the chest can be on the diagonal. Not twerking here into the low back to get the chest fully to the sidewall. Outer right blade of the right foot pressing down. Left thigh parallel with the edge of the mat, hollow out the low belly, take the arms wide out to the side. Maybe I press the feet so much down and so much together, pulling in towards the midline, in towards the navel. Reach the fingertips out, palms facing up, and maybe you float the butt off the chair. Again, if your thigh is not parallel to the floor, you have a 90-degree angle. You do not have a 90-degree angle with that front leg. Put height underneath your butt. 3. Exhale, 2. 1. Take the hands down to the chair. Scoot your back leg in. Straighten both legs. Basically same stance here, now just straight legs. Tilt the left hip down if your left leg is closest to the wall, and tilt your right hip up. Forearm to the thigh. Really squeeze the legs firm here. If you're unsure what that feels like, lift all 10 toes. You can have an extra fun time putting down the big toe, the pinky toe, and lifting the 3 center toes. Squeeze the legs, not hyperextending, but squeezing muscle to bone. Maybe your right arm comes up, shoulder in line with shoulder, hip in line with hip, how you can, and breathe here. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ardha Chandrasana. I'm going to take my forearm, my block on that more narrow height. I'll rock my weight forward, find the wall, and a little close. Scooting my standing leg back, pushing into the block, getting my left sideways long, stacking right hip on top of the left, pushing right arm into the wall, reaching right leg across to the other side of the room. 3, 5, 4, 3. Reach the heels to the floor, standing leg to the opposite wall, floating leg, hip on top of hip, shoulder starts to scoot on top of shoulder. 1, you can come back down to the chair or just put foot beside foot. Bend the knees, roll yourself up. Since we have the chair, maybe using it for wide-legged forward fold, your couch, your coffee table, what have you. A wide-legged forward. So, taking the feet, just turning to the side so you can see. So I'm using my chair here. I can use the top, or I can use seat. Also bring hands to floor. So I'm not really sinking into my back bend here, which is an option, but I'm pushing down, straightening the elbows, hollowing out the belly and the ribs, but sinking the sternum and the armpits down. My triceps are active here. My quads are active. And then I breathe. Inhale. Big exhale. And maybe I bring it back to the seat instead of to the higher part, the back of the chair. Hollow out the belly, sink the chest and the armpits, lift the navel. Seat over heels. 3, 2, 1. I can bring hands to blocks to the floor. I can also just keep doing option 1, option 2. Reach head away from seat. Breathe here. Also an option to put your head to the chair or head to blocks a little bit lower out in front of you, and then reach where you're finding that bind of forehead to chair or block, the seat back, and get long. If you want to fold deeper, head towards the floor. This is an option. Do something and breathe. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, lift up. You can walk up the chair. You can take your hands to the waist, but lift all the way up. maybe Prasarita Padottanasana C. So the hands would come behind the back. You can do any option that we just did, or you point the fingertips down, it should be at the ankles. Clasp the hands behind the back. Puff the chest up. Hang out here for a moment, lifting the ribs, but pulling the ribs in. Take one more breath. Hinge at the hip. Find your forward fold. Option to take any of the wide-legged forward folds we already did. If the hands do not clasp behind the back, hold on to a strap. Breathe. 3. 2. 1. Come back up slowly. Exhale here. Okay, step or jump the feet together. Probably get your chair out of the way if it's out in front of you. Step to the top of your mat. Take the slowest vinyasa you've taken so far today. Inhale with the arms up. Exhale, Uttanasana. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, maybe Chaturanga or to the floor. Inhale, heart forward, low cobra, high cobra, or up dog. Exhale back, down. Child's pose is always an option. Breathe here. 3. 2. 1. Lower down. We keep getting ourselves upside down. So that doesn't mean fully inverted. That could be just head below heart. So maybe you are close to your chair. You are close to your couch. Probably not your glass coffee table. But if you're using a chair on a slippy floor, make sure you put at least 2 of the legs on your sticky mat or something sticky, so it doesn't slide. This is solid here. One option. I take my feet up to whatever I'm working with here in tabletop, toe tucked position. I can bring my elbows down. I can come to a headstand-like position. Or I can stay on the wrist here if that's okay. I push the floor away, hands or elbows, whatever it is, and lift the knees up. I scoot one foot to the center. I hook the foot on the chair how I can, and then I press down and I work at floating the opposite leg. I try to do that on an inhale. Switch to the other side. Inhale and up. I can bring myself closer to fully inverted. Okay? So that's an option if you want more of an active upside down something. Otherwise, passive and supported. That's the name of the game today. If I have 2 of the same chair though, and if it's not a soft surface, it is hard metal, I'm going to use some of my pillow situations. Are you going to help me, Benny? Yeah. Gonna help today? Oh, thank you so much. So keep doing your active upside down something. Feel free to go to the wall. Otherwise, take my chairs flush to the wall. And then make chairs shoulder distance. Again, putting them on something non-slidey would be rather helpful. Are you still breathing? So, I could be here and just use this like spinal traction. I, again, don't have to come all the way upside down. Make sure I have enough space for the head and that my shoulders are supported here. Hopefully you can see. My arms dangle down and I find the fronts of the chair. I'm pressing in with the shoulders a little bit, and I can just go here, lifting the heels and lowering down. Pouring more weight into the shoulders, and then coming back. Bring one foot to the center. I can lift one leg up. Maybe this is enough here. The wall is behind you. And without kicking, maybe I can lift the top leg up so much, push down into the chairs. I can lean both legs to the wall. Sorry, you can't see my feet. Or I can let the feet float away from the wall. Okay, things start to feel really good. You can let go of the grip on the chair a little bit. I'm still lengthening out to the top of the head. I'm definitely breathing. You're feeling really snazzy. You can even find the legs to either side of the chair. One at a time or both. And breathe. So whether or not you're coming fully inverted, maybe you're just in the head below heart, whether that's on the chair with one foot or on the chair with the shoulders. Come down in between sides and just hang out for a second. Or in between tries. Stay in a folded position. What happens when you start to take this new perspective? Most of us aren't used to being upside down. Do you freak out? Can you breathe through that and know that you will be okay? Eventually, the more you do it, where you take on that new perspective, that different perspective. It's less scary, it's less different. You know that you have your breath there. A few more breaths, wherever you are, whatever you're working on. And go slow. As you come down, wherever you are, scoot yourself back, lower the knees down, and take a child's pose here. And bring the hands down beside you, palms facing up. Did you know that down dog is technically an inversion? Your head is below your heart. Take another breath or two here. Hang out. One more big inhale. One more big exhale. And then we go on a journey. Okay. Slowly roll yourself up, taking your hands underneath your shoulders. If you put pillows on your chair, take them back with you. And come lay on the belly. So I could use my two pillows here or some pillows. I'm going to try and support our back bend here. I sometimes really like using even a foam roller. Now hooking low ribs. We'll do the same thing if I'm using pillows. Don't really suggest using something like a block unless you really put a blanket around it. So hooking it, whatever it is, around low ribs. So I'm engaged in my back body a little bit, but I'm up from the floor, encouraging that upper back bend. Okay, you can just hang out here and squeeze the heels into the seat. Did the front of the pelvis come away from the floor? Okay, keep the front of the pelvis pressing down, the navel lifting in. Squeeze in, lift up, float the arms. See if you can bind on feet. Squeeze toes close. Maybe even flex the feet. Do something that feels good. Push back, puff up the chest. Breathe here. The more height you use underneath the rib cage, the more height you will get in the chest. Stay out of pain. Big inhale. Big exhale. As you slowly release, round the back, around your height, see if the forehead will come to the floor. If it doesn't, maybe stack one fist or one fist on top of the other and make support for the forehead. You can also put your block out in front of you. If it really feels uncomfortable, you find your height a little bit more under the belly, scoot it out a little bit. All right, round two. Keeping the navel in, lifting the chest, reaching the arms back behind. Supported back bend here. I could just hang out here, Superman fly all day, rolling the shoulders up, back, and down. And squeeze the feet in. Maybe this time I could find the inside of the foot. That feels okay for the shoulders. And continue to squeeze big toes together, press back, lift up. Breathe here. Inhale. Big exhale. If you're moving the head, move gently. Sometimes I can get some nice stretch here in the neck that I otherwise can't find. And slowly unwind and take that fold over the ribs. The head is far away from the floor. Support the forehead on something. And breathe here. Inhale. Big exhale. Hello. Inhale. Thank you. Sometime soon, press yourself up. Slide the butt back. Find cow pose. Maybe slide your height back and put it underneath the forehead. Why not? Breathe here. Inhale. Big exhale. Press yourself up to your seat. Get that stuff out of the way. Maybe you want to do that again, or we could recline on the back and take bridge pose. Any amount of bridge pose. Maybe taking some strengtheners. All right, some stabilizers. Taking the heels into the seat. Reach the fingertips for the heels. Maybe you find the heels. Drop the low belly in. Drop the low back to the floor and start to poke. Reach the tailbone up towards the ceiling. Lift the butt. Keeping that low back length. So it's the same low back length we were trying to find in our other back bends. Now gravity is just different. Tailbone has to reach actively long. Low back in. Lift up. You can do this all day. Continue to go dynamic with your breath. Inhaling to lift up. Exhaling to lower down. You could hold the side of your mat if you need to. Maybe roll the shoulders under a little bit. Pull the mat apart to puff up the chest. You can feel that before you even leave the floor. If I hold onto my mat, rip the mat in half, squeeze the shoulder blades together and down, and come up almost into a fish pose here. Can you simultaneously drop the tailbone long, but continue to puff up the chest? Breathe. Maybe roll the shoulders under more. Maybe stay here and continue to rip the mat wide, or if you want to interlace the hands behind the back, also great. Maybe lift the right heel off the floor. Continue to send the tailbone long. Maybe strength and stabilization of the left leg. So hard. Poke that foot up to the ceiling any amount. Try not to shift the pelvis. Exhale, bring the foot back down. Stabilize. Notice if your hips dropped a lot. Maybe lift the left heel. Stabilize with the right leg. Ooh, this is the hard side. Notice if the pelvis wants to dip Poke the top foot to the ceiling, any amount if that's your option. Exhale, put it back down. Stabilize here in the center, lengthen the low back, and then slowly lower down one vertebra at a time. Hang out here, rock side to side. Windshield wiper the legs if that feels right. Stay neutral and breathe if that feels right. All right, ring. Left leg long, right knee into the chest. Similar to how we did standing, but notice here how it feels with like ultimate support here on the floor. And you feel the length of the head coming to the floor equally as the heel, equally as the seat. Spread the shoulder blades wide. Notice those natural curves in the body. The cervical spine, the lumbar spine. The back of the knee is probably off the floor a bit, unless you're really hyperextended. Squeeze the right leg straight. Hold on to the back of the leg, interlacing the fingers, or start to walk the hand up. Any amount. Can you keep the lumbar spine away from the floor? Can you keep the right hip away from the face? Breathe here. This does not have to be your deepest expression. Supta, reclined, hasta, hand, padam, foot, Ustasana. Hand to big toe pose, reclined. Exhale. If you're using your strap, use your strap, but take the left hand for strap, foot, calf, outer thigh. Take the right arm wide and slowly take that leg across the body, letting the pelvis peel off the floor first, then the lumbar spine curves, then the thoracic spine curves. Take that foot to the floor. If the twist feels rather tight today, if you would like some support, send a block, some pillows, books underneath your right foot and get it away from the floor. On your next exhale, take the right hip away from the face. Breathe here. Inhale. Big exhale. Release that bind. See if you can continue to take the foot close to the floor, but slowly take the thoracic spine, the upper back towards the floor. The hip is still across the body. The foot is still as close to the floor as possible. The lumbar spine comes down. Then you roll across the back of the pelvis, and then the foot comes up. Holy outer leg, most likely. Right foot to the floor. Left leg figure four. Still using our ultimate support of the floor. Taking a little clamp of the hands. So I'm hooking my fingers and pulling apart. This is a new to me trick. Hooking my fingers and pulling apart. So I get a little more space than if I was interlacing the fingers. Hooking the fingers and pulling apart. Thumbs are in opposite directions. You gotta reach through. I could leave that left foot on the floor. The right leg in figure four if that's enough. I could reach beyond the thigh. And can I find lumbar curve and take the right leg away from the face? Did you shift the hips? They're still square to the floor. Right and left sides are taking equal weight. And they're equal amounts away from the face. If things are going well, I could straighten out my left leg. I could take that hook of the fingertips beyond the thigh, and then I can use, I scoot my arms across a little bit, my right arm to push my right leg away as I send the shoulders back to the floor. Elbows are going wide. I can continue to straighten my left leg or not. Find the hip stretch here. Slow the breath down. How's your jaw? How's your connection to your intention for practice? What have you felt shift so far? Unwind, put the left foot down. Squeeze the right leg to the sky any amount, slide the left leg straight, and then slowly let the right foot down. That side should feel epically open and long. Thumbs up. Take the left leg into the chest. Parallel the right leg, give it a squeeze. Big inhale here. Big exhale. Squeeze the legs straight, interlace the hands behind the leg. Hang out here. Continue trying to take your lumbar curve. The left hip away from the face. Right, even weight in between the right and the left side of the pelvis as you slowly work the hands up the leg in the amount. That could just be like a millimeter up. It could just be getting your legs a little bit straighter. Whatever it is. Breathe. Hang out. Where's your mind at right now? How are you approaching your body and how it's feeling today? Maybe you're feeling more limitations than you did yesterday. I kind of hate to use that word limitation, but less range of motion, a different range of motion. Start to take across the body. Right hand for left foot, strap, whatever you have. And then see if you can keep your right toes pointing up, also opening the back of the pelvis. As you take the left foot across the body, resist taking the left hip away from the floor. Epically slow. Come into that twist, letting the twist come up the low back first and then to the thoracic spine. Put height underneath your left foot if you need it. Breathe here. Take the left hip away from the face. Big inhale. Big exhale. Thoracic spine to the floor first. Left leg stays heavy. Lumbar spine to the floor. I'm using my right toes a little bit because we're going pretty slow. Right toes digging into the floor. The left leg stays across the body. So the left leg has like a lead weight on the foot. It slowly comes up. The left leg is the last thing to come to neutral and then out of the twist. Left hip comes to the floor first and then the left leg comes up over the shoulder, more center line with the chest. Holy outer hip, especially on that side. Take your figure four. Hang out here. You can bring the thigh in towards the chest. You can interlace the hands beyond the thigh. Do whatever you did first set. If you're using the elbow on the leg, maybe you could take the opposite grip. So the other thumb goes up beyond the thigh. You might need to round the back to get that to happen. Maybe more of the right thigh, the right forearm comes behind the right thigh as you come down. Shoulders down, tailbone down. The elbow gently presses that left leg away from the face. Options. You surrender here into this hip opening. Slowly unwind what you have. Squeeze the left leg straight, the right leg straight up to the sky, and slowly lower down. And the last poses you feel like you need to do. Flex the feet super hard, just taking little self-adjustments here. You take a happy baby moment. You could give your dog a scratch on the head. Anything that helps get you ready for Shavasana. Turning the palms to face up, letting the pinky toes flop out to the side. Start to let go of any control you had on your breath. Let the body get even heavier into the floor. And just allow yourself to be here. Keeping your eyes closed. Feel free to stay here for quite a bit longer. I'm here for almost 5 minutes. Free to set a timer on your phone. Just let yourself drift. Ten minutes ideal. 20 minutes even better. Let your nervous system fully reset. And if you're ready to come back up to a comfortable seat, and then come back up to a comfortable seat. When you're ready, bring the hands together at the heart. Push the palms together, thumbs into the chest. And just connecting here for a moment, back with your intention, how your breath feels now, how your body feels now. No matter what's happening internally or externally, be still and with your breath. Chant the sound of Om one time. Your head to your heart, take your hands to your forehead, take all that to the floor, namaste. And thank you so much for being here. Today, if you enjoyed practice, I feel like that was real dirty. Today, if you'd like to donate to an organization, please do in lieu of paying what you can for class today. Next week, this class is going to move to Zoom. I know I said that was going to be this week, but then the world shifts. So next week is going to move to Zoom, and I'll be starting a beginner series. Charlie's going to come hack it out about it. Thanks, buddy. And a new beginner series next week as well. So this class moves to Zoom. Lots of changes coming up. If you've been practicing with First Ascent over on Facebook with me, Saturdays at 9 a.m. This Saturday might be the last yoga practice, yoga asana, and meditation on the Facebook. But I will continue to offer meditation here. Okay, so feel free to come join me. I would love to pack this potentially last meditation before that class also moves to Zoom because they're shifting some things up. So just a few announcements. I thank you so much. Take care of yourself out there. Drink all the water. Take some vitamins. If you need anything, let me know. Thanks, bye.